All praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah, the ultimate source of shelter and refuge for the frightened and distressed, who safeguards all who seek His protection. I praise and thank Him, the absolutely perfect, who alleviates difficulty from the afflicted, mends the broken, and accepts the sincere repentance of sinners. I testify that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah alone. He is the Lord of the downtrodden, the granter of victory to the oppressed, and the one who answers the supplication of the distressed. I further testify that the best of us, our Prophet Muhammad, is Allah's worshipping servant and messenger. He is the leader of those who will have brightened faces and limbs on the day of judgment, and a guide for the entire creation. May Allah's salah, salam, and blessings be upon him, his pure and immaculate family, his righteous and distinguished companions, as well as all those who follow them in righteousness until the day of reckoning. To proceed, I admonish you all, O people, and myself, to observe taqwa of Allah. Thus, observe taqwa of Allah. May Allah have mercy upon you all. Adhere completely to His religion. Hold on firmly to it and protect yourselves from His punishment by upholding His limits. If you do so, your hopes will be actualized and you will find joy upon meeting Him. Indeed, none who invokes or beseeches Him is disappointed. Likewise, those who humble themselves before Him and place their hopes in Him never regret doing so. How can they? While it is He, the Almighty and Majestic, who stated, "Is it better to worship others or to worship the one who answers those in distress when they invoke Him?" Have no doubt, may Allah have mercy upon you all, that everything in the universe occurs according to His written decree and predetermination. Similarly, He regulates the affairs of the entire creation according to His will and what He is pleased with. The hearts of the servants lie in between two fingers of our Lord, the only deity worthy of worship. He turns them how He wills on His earth and in His sky. Thus maintain good thoughts of your Lord and remain hopeful of goodness from your Creator. For indeed, whoever maintains good thoughts of their Lord will be sufficed by Him. Additionally, He will take care of their affairs, draw near to them, and actualize their hopes and wishes. In support of this, Allah stated in Hadith Qudsi, "I am as my servant thinks of me, and I am with them when they mention me. If they mention me to themselves, I mention them to myself. If they mention me in a gathering, I mention them in a better gathering. If they draw near to me by a handspan, I draw near to them by an arm's length. If they draw near to me by an arm's length, I draw near to them by 2 arms' length. If they come to me walking, I come to them running." This was reported by Al-Bukhari and Muslim. O servants of Allah, having good thoughts of Allah is among the noblest acts of worship and greatest means to attaining closeness to Allah. It indicates the perfection of one's iman, the purity of one's heart, and one's contentment with the decree of Al-Rahman. In support of this, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, said, "I swear by the one besides whom there is no deity worthy of worship, no servant has been granted anything better than having good thoughts of Allah, the Almighty and Majestic. I swear by the one besides whom there is no deity worthy of worship, no servant thinks good of Allah except that Allah grants what they thought He would grant them. For all goodness lies in the hands of Allah." This was reported by Ibn Abi Dunya. Having good thoughts of Allah is to have firm conviction in all that befits Him, the absolutely perfect, from the meanings of His beautiful and majestic names and attributes, as well as His noble speech and actions. It also includes having firm conviction in His complete ability over all affairs in the past, present, and future, as well as the praiseworthy outcomes and attributes that originate from it. He, the absolutely perfect, is the possessor of immense mercy, the bestower of mercy, the most generous, the bestower of abundant favors, the caregiver, who knows the most minute of details, the magnanimous, the most kind, the ultimate bestower, the most powerful, the completely able, the almighty, the overwhelmingly powerful, who sets matters right for His servants. He indeed is the one who answers the calls of the distressed, the master of all masters, the one who drives the clouds and creates His creation and created His creation from dust. He is the ever-living, who never dies, the self-sufficient and sustainer of all, who never sleeps. He is close yet exalted above, the highest yet near. He is all knowing of what He has decreed and brought into existence. Nothing about His creation is hidden from Him, whether on earth or in the heavens. He is wise in His creation. He is wise in His actions, merciful to His servants, and the helper of those who seek refuge, and the helper of those who seek His refuge and protection. To the one whom illnesses have caused, to the one whom illness has caused to writhe in agony, disabled and made bedridden until hospitals became his home and refuge. Your cure lies in the words of supplication made by Ayub when his suffering reached its peak, completely taking hold of him and overwhelming him. He humbled himself before Allah and supplicated Him, showing his weakness and his need for the mercy of his Lord and Master, saying, and mention Ayub when he called to his Lord, indeed adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful. So we responded to him and removed what afflicted him of adversity, and we gave him back his family and the like thereof, with them as mercy from us, and a reminder for the worshippers of Allah. To the one deprived of companionship among life's adornments, who feels the bleakness of loneliness, while those with families are preoccupied with their worldly concerns, where are you in relation to the supplication of Zakaria? May Allah's salam be upon him. He turned humbly to his Lord in prayer, beseeching and seeking His help, with a supplication so powerful it could break the heart of every living being and cause tears to stream from their eyes. He said, and mentioned Zakaria when he called to his Lord, my Lord, do not leave me alone with no heir, while you are the best of inheritors. So we responded to him, and we granted him a son, Yahya, and reformed for him his wife. Indeed, they used to hasten to good deeds and supplicate us in hope and fear, and they were to us humbly submissive. To those who are exhausted and weary due to the burden of debt, whose earnings have become scarce and life's challenges have overwhelmed them, whose steps falter in pursuit of their livelihood, where do you stand with regards to the generosity of the most generous, the provisions and gifts of the one who provides and bestows abundantly, the one who stated in the indisputable book, when my servants ask you about me, inform them that I am most certainly near. I respond to the prayer of the supplicant when he calls upon me. Therefore, they must respond to me and have iman in me, so that they would be soundly guided. Furthermore, the one and only Lord stated about Nuh that he said, thus I said, seek forgiveness from your Lord, as He is certainly always forgiving. If you do so, He will send rain upon you in abundance, grant you increase in wealth and children, bestow upon you gardens, and bestow upon you rivers. To those who have been afflicted by hardships, attacked by enemies, and surrounded by difficulties, raise your hands in supplication and call upon Allah, being certain that He will respond. Indeed, Allah, the Blessed and Exalted, sees your situation, is aware of your wounds, sees your tears, and hears your sighs. He is the one capable of overcoming your enemies, and when Allah, the Majestic and Exalted, intends for something to occur, He makes the means for it easy. Thus, have good expectations of your Lord, and hold firmly to His book and the Sunnah of your Prophet. Therein lies victory and empowerment, and through them comes salvation with certainty. In support of this, Allah stated, when the messengers lost hope in their message being accepted by the people, and they were certain they had been denied, that was when our assistance and victory came to them. We then saved whoever we willed. Our torment cannot be averted from a people who are criminals. Servants of Allah, beware of falling into hopelessness and despair regarding Allah's mercy, as they lead to kufr and misguidance. In support of this, Allah, the possessor of honor and majesty, stated, do not despair of Allah's mercy. Indeed, it is only the people of kufr who despair of Allah's mercy. He also stated, none despairs of his Lord's mercy besides those who are astray. Indeed, falling into despair regarding Allah's mercy is from the bad thoughts and expectations one has of Allah. As Allah stated, the very nature of human beings when we bestow blessings upon them is that they turn away from giving due gratitude, and they become distant from us, and they become distant from obeying us. And when adversity strikes them, they fall into continual despair. Be wary of those who instill hopelessness, hinder others, and drive people to despair of Allah's mercy. Say to the one whose heart is filled with pessimism and who moves about narrowing the horizons around us, indeed the secret to happiness lies in having good thoughts of the one who created life and allocated for all their provisions. Al-Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, may Allah have mercy upon him, said, Whenever a servant has good thoughts of Allah, expects good from Him, and sincerely relies upon Him, Allah will never leave him disappointed. Indeed, He, the absolutely perfect, never lets down those who place their hopes in Him, nor does He allow the deeds of the good doer to go to waste. I say this much and seek Allah's forgiveness for myself, for you, and for all the Muslims from every sin. Thus seek His forgiveness, for verily He is the oft forgiving, the bestower of mercy. All praise be due to Allah, a praise befitting His perfection and self sufficiency. I thank Him with gratitude proportionate to His bounties and generosity. I bear witness that no deity has the right to be worshipped except Allah alone. He has no partners on His earth nor in His heavens. I further bear witness that our Prophet Muhammad is His worshipping servant and messenger, who reached the pinnacle of human perfection. May Allah's salah, salam, and blessings be upon him, his family, his companions, and all those who follow his path and adhere to his guidance. Realize, servants of Allah, that among the greatest moments where having good thoughts of Allah becomes highly emphasized and where hope in Him should outweigh fear of Him is when the servant faces death and is on the verge of departing this worldly life. That is because no matter how far the shortcomings of a person of Iman may reach, or how many sins they may fall into, whether minor or major, Allah most certainly is all hearing and all seeing regarding His servants. He is the all knowing and all aware concerning their weaknesses, and bestows His immense mercy upon them and conceals their faults. In relation to having good thoughts of Allah before dying, Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, may Allah be pleased with him and his father, said, I heard the Messenger of Allah, may Allah's salah and salam be upon him, say 3 days prior to his death, none of you should die except while having good thoughts of Allah, the Almighty and Majestic. This was reported by Muslim. The scholars, may Allah have mercy upon him, said regarding this hadith, this is a warning against despairing and encourages one to be hopeful when their death approaches. In other words, a person should think and expect that Allah will have mercy upon them and pardon their sins. In conclusion, invoke Allah to confer salah and salam upon the best of His creation, Muhammad ibn Abdullah. Indeed, your Lord, the Majestic and Exalted, has commanded you to do so in His statement. Indeed, Allah confers salah upon the Prophet. And the angels invoke Allah to confer further salah upon him. O people of Iman, invoke Allah to confer salah upon him and to grant him salam as well. O Allah, confer your abundant salah, salam, and blessings upon your worshipping servant and messenger, our Prophet Muhammad. O Allah, be pleased with the Prophet's 4 rightly guided successors, and the foremost in being devoted to you with Tawheed, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali. Be pleased with the rest of the 10 who were promised paradise and the companions of the tree. O Allah, be also pleased with the rest of the companions, the generations that succeeded them, and all those who follow them in righteousness until the day of judgment. O Allah, grant strength to Islam and the Muslims, protect the strongholds of our religion, and grant victory to your worshipping servants, the people of Iman. For you are strong and powerful. O Allah, relieve the Muslims who are in distress, alleviate their difficulties, settle their debts, and cure the ailing among us and among all Muslims. O Allah, grant us safety in our lands, rectify our leaders and authorities, and support our ruler and leader, the custodian of the 2 holy mosques, with truth, your special assistance and correctness in all affairs. O Allah, grant him a long life filled with health, well-being, and ample blessings. O Allah, grant him and his trusted deputy your special assistance to fulfill the interests of the lands and the people, bring them happiness and well-being, and achieving. O Allah, grant him and his trusted deputy your special assistance to fulfill the interests of the lands and their people, bringing them happiness and well-being, and achieving strength and honor for Islam and the Muslims, O Lord of all creation. O Allah, preserve our troops who are stationed at our borders and frontiers. O Allah, guard them with your eye that never sleeps, and shelter them with your never-ending protection, O Lord of all creation. O Allah, aid our downtrodden brothers wherever they may be. O Allah, replace their weakness with strength, their fear with safety, and their destitution with prosperity and affluence, O Lord of all creation. O Allah, make the best of our deeds the last of them, the best part of our lives its conclusion, and the best of our days the day we meet you. Cause us to die while you are pleased with us, and do not cause us to die while you are angry with us, O Lord of all creation. O Allah, attach our hearts to what pleases you, and fill them with reverential fear and taqwa of you. Make us among those who have good thoughts of you in this world and the day we meet you by your mercy, O most merciful. Your Lord is absolutely perfect, the Lord of all might. He is far exalted above every falsehood they attribute to him. He grants salam to all of his messengers